Well, hello there. I believe it's Monday, sometime 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm starting my solo trip for 11 days from Cedar. The wife and dog left me. I'm off to see Jake, Pigeon, over at the Brent store. And I'm going to be camping up the mountain of the Petawawa tonight. So I'm off to see Jake. Well, we saw Jake. He was resting. Showed him my new canoe. And talked about my trip. He gave me a few pointers and suggestions along the way. And I'm off across Cedar Lake to camp at one of 3 possible campsites. There's 2 campsites there, plus there's one right on the portage. We made it to our campsite. Pretty awesome, right? The Rapids River is just right over there. And the portage trail is that way. And it says 7:15 Cedar Lake to Petawawa River. And there's a campsite here. It's not marked on the map, but it is a campsite. Thank you, Jake. And we have a little campsite. Got my Eureka 14 tarp set up out of the sun heat in front of the campfire, just in case it rains. I'm going to keep everything dry. And over here we got our tent set up. My Eureka Midori 2. An awesome tent for one, because you can put stuff in and have room to move, especially when you're big like me, 6'2". And we got the Goal Zero charging up my iPhone. 7 o'clock. Sunset's at around 8:10 now. And nice sunset. So I'm just using my jet boil to rehydrate some homemade chili. And I think I'm going to eat some jerky with that chili, because I feel like more meat today. I ate so much fish last 5 days. Not complaining, but I want some meat. So pretty excited. First night, 11 night, 12-day trip. All right, well, got a little fire going. Let's see how this chili's doing, shall we? What are you doing, all right? homemade chicken jerky. Yum. Good morning. True North Strong. Just finishing my cup of coffee. Got the tent put away. Packing up some nice oatmeal with dried mulberries. Yum. And going to be getting on this 700 portage. I think I'll take the canoe up first, then come back for the rest of the stuff. Anyway, good morning. Day 2. It's about 8 a.m. We made it through our first portage, 717 meters. Stop and chat to people along the way. It took 2 hours. So I figure an hour and a half. So my 2.5 kilometer portage tomorrow. Tired. It's hot. It's 2:30 in the afternoon. Got my campsite along the Petawawa River. Very nice. Little campsite. And we got 2.5 kilometers of a portage that way. I think I might take the canoe later on when it cools down in the evening and I get some rest. So I'm hungry. It's 2:30. Homemade borscht, dehydrated. So after the borscht and a rest, just before 5 o'clock, I'm thinking 2.5 kilometers, I'm going to take that canoe. Right, well, it's 7 o'clock now. An hour and 50 minutes. 150. 2.5 kilometers there with the canoe. Rest break. 1/3 of the way. 2/3 of the way, and a big one when I got there. Brutal. That means I walked 7 kilometers today on portages, but I only have to walk 5 tomorrow. So that's cool. I'm hungry, making myself something to eat. It's all good. Sunset in an hour. So I gotta hurry up, eat, wash up. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm on Catfish Lake. Day 3, Wednesday. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. After 10 kilometers of portaging this morning. Made it to Narrowbag Lake. 15-minute paddle across Narrowbag and a little 80-meter portage I just left into Catfish. Last portage of the day. Now we need to get down to the south end of Catfish as much as possible towards Catfish Rapids, because I'll be spending my next night on Cedar Rapids, which is the 3rd set of rapids from Catfish on the Petawawa. But it's a slog going up and trying to stay close to shore. Less wind there, but the gusts come. Not moving too fast. Spending a lot of energy. Who needs a monthly membership at a health club? here, Health Club. We found a little island campsite. Got all set up. Things are flapping in the breeze. Nice place to sit. Big fire pit. I just had me some bacon and eggs. Somebody made a table here. Kind of funky. Let's see, it's what time is it? 4:30. 4:30. Got to sit down and rest after my meal. Text the wife on the inReach. Everything okay today. And rest a little bit. Because I'm tired. I started today with the base of this 2370 portage, 2.5 kilometers basically, Stack Rapids. I took the canoe over last night. So 2.5 kilometers, it's 2.5 there, 2.5 back, that's 5. And then today, double carry the rest of my stuff, so 2.5, 5, 7.5, 10, 7.5, sorry. And then into Narrowbeg Lake, paddled across to the 80-meter portage at Log Chute, and the wind's coming straight this way. And we paddled down Catfish Lake, and I am on that little island right there. There's a campsite there, and there's a campsite on that island, and that's where I am, right at the top of the hill on lake. And I'm going to Catfish Rapids. I'm exiting Catfish Lake. From there tomorrow, just about a half an hour paddle, 45 minutes to Catfish Rapids. We have a 278 portage, paddle up to Snowshoe Rapids, and we've got a 420 meter portage, and then another little quick one, 90. And we'll be camping at Cedar Rapids tomorrow. Yeah. And then we continue on. So there you go. Well, the fire's dying. The sun has set. It's a beautiful evening. The wind died down. Beautiful red sky at night, sailor's delight. We like to see that. It should be a nice day tomorrow. Beautiful. Well, good morning. I'm making bannock for breakfast. It's around 7 o'clock. Looks like a beautiful day. I figure I'd make the dough because you got to let it sit a little bit and then I make my coffee. Trying to figure out what the most chronologically time effective chain of events to happen in a morning when you're making breakfast and, you know, packing up, breaking camp, all the things included into that when you're by yourself, solo. It's a lot to do, almost the same amount as if you had two people, but you're doing it by yourself. So you gotta become more efficient, basically, or you waste a lot of time and energy, basically. It's not about speed, it's about enjoying yourself, right? And having some energy, because boy, I tell you, it takes out of you. Ladies and gentlemen, I do believe we have bannock. Ah, hot. Nicely risen. Put a little cover on. Hopefully it's done. The wind and the current, struggling, not going fast. But I can see the rapids, so the portage must be right there with the campsite. Being only 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 300-meter portage before Pearly Lake, and then just a short portage between that and current route. So easy days. Tomorrow I might take the canoe over that little short 300 tonight, later on, before bedtime. So I only have 2 carries tomorrow morning. Sounds like a plan. Worked out good with Unicorn Hill. Oh, let me tell you. 20 kilometers of walking in 2 days. Well, when you triple carry a 2.5 kilometer portage. So I take a short walk up at the beginning of this portage and see a campsite, but instead of the regular sign, I have I wonder why. It doesn't look like there's anybody camped here for a while. There's a thunder box, and it's brand new. Brand new thunder box, campsite closed. I wonder why. So we're going to take a walk to the end of the portage and see what's up. Maybe there's another campsite there. They should have marked it, don't you think? You have a reserved campsite for today, confirmed. I just checked my paperwork. At Cedar Rapids. There's only one campsite on Cedar Rapids. I have reserved it. I paid for it, but the site is closed. In 48 years of coming to Algonquin Park, I've never experienced anything like this. Have you? As you can see, I set up my tent at the closed site. I took a look around. There's really nowhere else to put a tent. I don't want to put it right on the trail. I thought of going to Pearly Lake, There's only 2 campsites on that lake, and what if they're both taken? Then there won't be good news. There was no campsite at the end of the trail. This 450 meter portage to Pearly Lake, just to put in. I took the canoe over after supper, and so I'd only have a double carry tomorrow morning. I don't want to get winded on Burnt Root, so up in the air. But I'll get an early start and we're forging ahead. That's the main thing. All good so far. A little neck, shoulder, back pain from carrying stuff kilometers. Other than that, I'm eating well. So that's good. I have enough food, I hope. And I found today on the trail, look at the size of that chanterelle. That's for breakfast tomorrow with eggs. So all the other ones are rotten. So Boris is having fun in the forest, as he should. Well, I'm at the end of the portage from Petawawa River to Pearly Lake. It is 9:05 a.m. I got started at 6 o'clock this morning and broke camp, had breakfast, and double carried 460 something meters the rest of my stuff because I took the canoe last night. And here we are on Pearly Lake. Oops. A couple more scratches on the Kevlar, on the Kevlar. So Pearly Lake, they say about an hour and 15-minute paddle. And I'll be at the rapids with a short portage 170 meters into Burnt Root Lake. Not much paddling the last few days, but that changes starting today. Not too much, but a little bit more paddling today. And based on the weather and how fast I make it to Burnt Root, and then I'll see how far it is to make it to the portage of to Robinson Lake, which takes me to Whiskey Jack. It's 1,310 meters marked. I thought it was 18. Put my glasses on. The 8 was a 3. Made me smile. I lost 500 meters by putting my glasses on. What else have I missed? Anyway, so I'm thinking, based on weather conditions that I see coming up on my inReach and today's wind shift with the east-northeast wind, which is pushing me along rather than paddling into it, as you guys know, for the last few days. I might make it all the way to Whiskey Jack today. We shall see. Nice and cool today. Reprieve from the humidity. Well, I'm about halfway down Pearly Lake. A wind at my back. It's 11 o'clock. And I'm on Burnt Root Lake. Finally made it. 160 meter portage from Pearly. East wind, not too strong yet, thank goodness, but it's pushing me in the right direction. And I almost see the portage to Robinson Lake from here. I mean, I got an orientation of where it is based on the campsite signs I can see on the trees. Well, we made it, and we have landed. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I have made it to Whiskey Jack Lake. It was cold today, so I put on a pair of thin merino wool long johns. But then I roll them up. (3:22) Friday, August 27th. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 5 days. Supposed to be here tomorrow. 5 days I made it to Whiskey Jack Lake. This morning, paddled through Pearly and about a 45-minute at the top of Burnt Route. And then we've got the 1,400-meter portage into Robinson to get to Whiskey Jack. Well, that 1,400-meter portage Robinson, as you already well know, with triple carry, means you multiply that by 5 times. So it's just basically 7 kilometers of walking today, carrying stuff. So a little tired, but stoked to be here. And this last little portage from Burnt Route to Robinson, that 1,400, and then it's 25 meters from Robinson to Whiskey Jack. And we are on Whiskey Jack Lake in the heart of Algonquin Park. It's a special lake. I don't know very much about it except for what I've heard. It's supposed to be, I think, a spring-fed lake, a clear lake, one of 2 in Algonquin. Well, it sure is clear. I mean, it's very shallow here, but it's extremely clear. Ooh, a little rocky here. Hope we don't get hung up. Seems cool to the touch for the shallowness of the water compared to other lakes. So based on that information, I'm going to say if it's spring-fed, it's cold spring-fed, not hot. Hence, I've also heard that lake trout really like this lake. Because of all those reasons. Fresh, clean, cold water. Don't we all love that? So there's 5 campsites on this lake. And I'm after one of them. Well, I paddled halfway down Whiskey Jack Lake and I made it to this campsite on the point that I've been told is the best one on the island. On the lake, I mean. Even though it's on the south side, because it's a point sticking out into the lake going north, you get sunrise and sunset. Nice fireplace. I'm just going around it now. Let me get out of this contraption and all this gear out, and I'll check in with you and show you the campsite. Well, I'm all set up at my camp. So I set up a tarp because I know it's going to rain. My new Eureka 14 trail tarp. Wind's coming from that direction. So hopefully we'll be okay. I'm all tied down. Got a place for stuff. Just like in the pictures. So onwards and forwards. Up the hill. And we have a little tent site. Enough for a 2 or 3 man tent. That's about it. And we have the lavatory. Well, I had my pork, pulled pork, dehydrated with carrots. And it wasn't enough. I'm starving. So, pea soup. My lovely wife, any meals that she makes at home, basically that I like. I ask her to make, and she dehydrates it for me in single portions. This is ham and pea soup, homemade. It's very, very good. I got chili, pea soup, chicken loaf, pulled pork, meatballs. Got all borscht, barley soup. Just you name it, I got it. And it's packs well. Costs a lot less than the exorbitant prices for the dehydrated food that you buy in your store. And the big thing about them is half of the packaging is air you can't get rid of. So it's volume. It's all about weight and volume. I've got to downsize. Too much. I met a guy today, solo. He had a 14-foot Kiwadin canoe, single canoe, not a pack boat. About my age, a little thicker. And his pack weighed 16 pounds. So I certainly understand why he single carries. But he must starve. What's he eating? And, okay, he's in a bivvy, which weighs a pound. I'm hearing noises. My back was killing me. I took 2 Robaxisets, had that pulled pork, and I've got this rock here, this beautiful fireplace that you've seen. Let me get up. Oh boy! I'm sitting here on this rock, my raincoat, and there's a nice flat backrest right there. All right. If you sit right, a backrest. Bonus. That's what I needed. 2 Robaxisets, a backrest, some Granddaddy Purple, if you know what I mean. And I think later on, to celebrate, that I got here in 5 days, instead of 6, to Whiskey Jack Lake, in the center of Algonquin Park. Such a magical, beautiful place. I'm going to give it a toast with some fine 12-year-old triple cask Balvenie single malt scotch. Cheers. Pea soup. Can't take glass or cans into Algonquin Park. No, this is not water. And no, it's not the yellow stuff either that you're thinking of. Foo. I don't have a shot glass, so forgive me. Bottoms up. Oh yeah. I got a little fire going. You know. Just to keep the chill off. This esoteric fleece, I guess secondary layer, it's called. Very warm. I've got a long sleeve, very thin merino wool blend base layer, and this is my secondary. My fire is my third. 4th layer. We won't talk about the 5th layer. Children may be watching the program. See? Let me show you. Little fire. Beautiful evening. Nice and calm. That's what they say. Calm before the storm. Right? I needed that. Basically 2 dinners today. I don't know if you can see anything, but it started to rain and it's not 8 o'clock yet. It was supposed to start at midnight. So there you go. The rain has started. Whiskey Jack Lake, a very special place. Good morning. I feel much better. Still a little sore and tired, but wow. I'll tell you what, I hit the sack. By the time I got organized in there, excuse me, in my tent, it was 9. It's 8:30 now. So one could say I had a good night's sleep. It rained off and on, not too strong in the night, so forecast changed. The wind's still coming from the direction in the northeast, northeast, and high clouds. So I'll check my inReach weather, but first, coffee. Coffee, 8:30 Saturday morning, Whiskey Jack Lake. Gonna be here today. And I got hungry for breakfast, so I made myself bacon and eggs, and I got some chicken loaf because I figure that wouldn't be enough. Well, it finally started to rain. So what do you do when it's raining and it's cold? You get warm. I'll make myself something hot to drink. Maybe a little bit of scotch. How are you? New angle, rear camera thwart. Well, no luck so far with my little Clio. I got a silver and blue Williams wobbler set up. I'm gonna try now. Sun's coming out a little bit here and there. No luck fishing so far, but I got a little jig out there on a bobber. See what happens. I'm going to get wood. Yeah, chop up some wood, I think, is what I'm going to do. And the first thing is amazing what you find on the forest floor. One fire starter. Do I say well a lot? Greetings. It's 3:30. I don't feel like napping. Sun's kind of half out. No luck on the fishing. So I'll wait to try a little later, but in the meantime, I think I'm going to make some bannock to have later on, or I might have a little bit now. So we have our little ball, and we let that sit and rise for a little bit while we go clean our hands. So in case you're wondering what I use for water, I keep everything in plastic bags. I change them out. It keeps the smell down, keeps everything organized. I use aqua taps. They don't pay me to tell you this. I've tried everything. Filters, you got to carry it, and you got to renew the filter, buy more stuff, blah blah blah. I'm interested in less weight and less volume. So I take 10 of these, I spread it right on in the frying pan, and that way my 2 tablespoons of lard that I've got in there gets mushed around, you know, spread out evenly along the frying pan, and I find that I haven't had it burn. It all depends on the heat. If you know, I take 20-25 minutes for my bannock on a slow heat. I flip it several times, and yeah. Anyway, I keep it covered too. So, without further ado, I think we shall start. Well, let's see how this bannock turned out, shall we? There it is. Nice. Oh yeah. Clean frying pan. No need to do anything. Like magic. What I propose to do is take some peanut butter, put it a big scoop like that on a piece of bannock, like that. No. Right? No. Don't do this. It doesn't taste good. It's bad for you. And we pour it on a section. Like I said, no good. This will give you some energy and calories back. And so I thought I'd be civilized this evening with my bannock and peanut butter and honey, and use my measuring cup rather than drinking out of the bottle. It's not the bottle, but well, you understand. So 1/8 of a cup. Cheers. Seven o'clock. What a beautiful night. Black flies are out full force here. Going back to where those loons are fishing. Seems like they're having luck there. They wouldn't stay there for a while. The black flies are just They're not fun. Whoa. Okay, so as you can see, nice sunset. Just breaking through the clouds at the end there before it sets. Kind of cool. No luck on the fishing side. Lots of snags. I'm hitting bottom. Best I could make it is somewhere between 50 and 60 feet that I've hit. I haven't found any holes bigger. Yeah, I'm just randomly going, you know. So far, nothing on the board. Big zero. And there's my campsite. Well, good morning. It just stopped raining, and it's just before 9 a.m. on Sunday morning. Looks like the sun wants to come out. That would be very nice. For the rest of the day, I could do some washing, recharge my battery pack. That would be pretty cool. Anyway, time for some coffee. Well, I'm going to have my second cup of coffee. And the wind's picked up. The sun wants to stay out, but I think it'll be a while before it breaks through the clouds. I'm going to leave my solar panel where it is, so long as it's not raining. And with this wind, it's going to be difficult in the canoe, but we'll see what's happening. Not going anywhere for a while until the sun comes out, which it promises to in the next hour or so, permanently for the rest of the day. So we'll check in with you a little later. I'm going to have some breakfast, maybe clean up some stuff around camp to get prepared for the cleanup tonight. So minimal to do tomorrow. And we have a whole day ahead of us. Let's hope the sun comes out earlier and the wind dies down sooner.